LoreWarrior Armour, Pike Support Vehicle. Overview. The Pike long-range support vehicle is one of the first produced in the Magistracy of Canopus, located along the rim of the Free Worlds League. The Magistrix, leader of Canopus, commissioned the Pike, along with several other vehicles in 2987, in hopes of bringing more trade into her relatively impoverished domain. Like many other vehicle producers, she surmised that eventually the lords of the 5 successor houses would not be able to resupply and maintain the immense mech armies they were throwing away on useless border skirmishers. Kiala was willing to produce and sell military vehicles to the lords until they could no longer field their full mech strength, while she saved her own mechs for a later time. The Pike's main function on the battlefield include destroying small vehicles and infantry units, and harassing mechs, especially mechs like the Archer, whose main weapon is long-range missiles. Capabilities. The Pike is the closest a military unit can get to having a short-range artillery weapon without having to purchase snipers or long-toms. Although snipers and long-toms do more damage, they're usually in great demand, hard to find, and very expensive. The 3 Zeus Bolt long-range guns give the Pike the longest range weapon capability on the field. The 3 guns are mounted in one turret and share the same targeting and tracking system. This unique system tracks the flight path of the shells for all 3 guns at once, automatically adjusting for azimuth and elevation. This makes the Zeus Bolt 74.3% more accurate than any similar system available. The main drawback of the Pike is, ironically, its main weapon. The 3 Zeus Bolt long-range guns do not inflict much damage. Indeed, a hit from a Zeus Bolt gun is equivalent to the hit of a machine gun shot or one short-range missile. To compensate for this, the engineers of Canopus Industries Alpha gave the Pike over 200 rounds of ammo. This allows the tank to fire more times at a target and, presumably, do more damage. The Pike is also equipped with 2 short-range missile racks for self-defense. These SRMs can fire accurately at targets at ranges of 120 meters or less, which would be difficult, even futile, for the Zeus Bolt. The Pike's engine is equipped with the emission kill system. This device cuts down on the exhaust emissions given off by the 14-ton engine, theoretically making it difficult to see it in infrared. Pike crews are not convinced that the system works, however. They also claim that the emission kill system drastically increases the tank's fuel consumption. Most crews remove it the first chance they get. Battle history. Although the Pike is 38 years old, it hasn't seen much combat. It's difficult enough getting goods exported into the Inner Sphere and near impossible to find a buyer for untried military vehicles. Comstar was the first customer for the Pike. The Comstar Pikes were distributed among various worlds whose hyperpulse generators were considered at risk. One of these dangerous areas was near Santander 5, homeworld of the bandit king Helmar Valasek. Valasek carried out raids against this planet not because he wanted the generator, but because he was looking for water and mech parts. Unfortunately for Comstar, Valasek always managed to stumble across the generator, no matter where it was moved. After becoming weary of recapturing it from bandits, Comstar moved a number of Pikes onto the planet for defense. Months later, Valasek once again raided the planet for water and predictably found the generator. This time, however, Pike units guarded it. At the approach of the incoming bandit forces, the Pikes fired at long range. This took the bandits by surprise and threw them into confusion, which allowed the Pikes to fire on the raiders again and again. By the time the bandits were able to reorganize and close into effective range, the Pikes had destroyed several mechs. Deciding to cut their losses, the bandits would withdraw. Since that battle, no further raids have been carried out against the Comstar installation. Variants. There are no known variants of the Pike, because there are so few available in the Inner Sphere. Notable vehicles and crew: Giles Jonesy Jones and Margarita Arnlex. These 2 crew commanded the only Pike Lance in Kensky's Raiders, one of the largest vehicle users in the Inner Sphere. During a defensive action on Holt, their unit managed to destroy a medium mech lance during a series of hit-and-run raids. Now the Pike, a somewhat traditional-looking tank. By Battletech standards, anyway. 60 tons, tracked type movement with power plant is a Jones 180 with emission kill. Crews of 32, flank of 54, armour is Star Slab G, armed with 3 Zeus Bolt long-range guns and 2 Marklin mini-missile packs. Manufactured by Canopus Industries Alpha, communications is a Magistrix Alpha and targeting and tracking is the Magistrix Gamma. It is a vehicle that is equipped with, let's see how many heat sinks, probably not a lot. Oh, 0. It has absolutely 0 heat sinks apparently, so it probably just has the 10 that's built into the engine. Its armour is 33 on the front, 25 on the sides, 25 on the rear, and 36 on the turret. It has triple AC2s, 2 SRM2s, 50 rounds of fire for the SRMs, and 225 shots in total for the AC2. So someone could do the maths of that, divide by 3, that's how many rounds it's got firing. You know what, it's not a bad vehicle, it's not going to do a lot of damage, but it's certainly going to annoy the piss out of anybody who you're constantly firing at from the other end of the table with this thing. It's also probably quite an annoying vehicle to encounter in any other game that it would ever be involved in. I imagine if this thing was added to something like Mech Online, not only would they bloat the number of ballistics hardpoints it's got from like 3 to 27, so people just mount 5,000 fucking machine guns or something on it, it'd be horrendously annoying to kill. In a game like Living Legends, or if they add it to Living Legends 2, I could see it being very useful for the player who likes to kind of hover around near a base and just launch shells across the entire map at big lumbering like heavies and assaults. So that'd be quite fun. Or using it as an AA vehicle to shoot at some of the VTOLs that'd be flying around. As I said, it's not a bad looking vehicle either. Quite normal looking compared to things like the High Scout drone carrier recently or the Manticore tank. It actually has a comparatively sleek design. It's also good, I imagine, as thinking of it from the perspective of how can I annoy the players. A Pike would be an interesting one just to use because it's scary at first because it looks like a big nasty tank with 3 barrels, and then they get hit and it's like, oh, it's AC2s? But that will mount up. That damage will slowly, once it's plinking away, I think that'll be quite annoying for players, so it's probably a good one to harass them with. But I'm sure plenty of you who've played at the table have encountered pikes or players who may have attacked with mass pike units because they don't generate that much heat and they've got tons of ammunition, so I'm sure there's a few stories out there. But I'll leave it there, and I'll catch you all next time. Thanks for listening as always, and have a good day. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.